For the final bit of this wee course, it's just a short introduction. Basically, I'm going to talk about the last of the big three here. Value. Value is by far I found the most difficult. So I'm going to try and simplify it here down. Basically, when you look at any object, uh, it's got thousands of different tones that make it up, and you can't see all them tones. And if you were to try and mix every single tone, then one, it would be boring, and two, it would be just impossible. So what we're going to do here is simplify it, just a simple demonstration of how value works today. Normally when I work on my own work, I'll mix maybe seven. I'll mix it down to seven different tones and just stick within that range of tones. But for simplicity's sake today, and just to get you started, we're just going to work with five. So if I have a wee look here, just tilt this so you can see it. You can see that the five different tones we're going to be working with today are black is your darkest, white's obviously the lightest, a dark grey, and a medium, and a very lightish grey. So with them five tones you can create the most amazing paintings you can, just with five tones. And then when you get used to these, scale it up then to seven or nine, whatever you want. I would personally say that with five, seven, the lower the values that you have, the better impact your painting will have. So I'll just get started here. I've mixed up a bit of black here with my sienna and blue and the whites here. Now we're going to mix five tones, and I really encourage you to do this yourself. Just even if you have a tube of black and a tube of white, you can do it, or like I say, you can mix your own black. So I'll just really start here really quickly, and what we're going to do is we got the black, so that's what I would say is a value 5. That's the darkest you can go. You really can't go any darker than black, so that's a given. What we're going to do here is now just put some of this here. We'll pick up some of this white. That's value 1. You can't get any whiter, any lighter than white. Now, mixing the values in between, there's a few different ways to do this. I prefer to just start from black downwards, so we'll go to tone 4. Tone 4, what we're looking for is, it's like I'll just put this up here. It's like it's like a dark grey. That's really it. It's just one tone down from the black. So what I do is I scoop a bit of black, get it down there, and a tiny bit of white, not much white, and you'll see that you'll get this nice tone that is dark grey. We'll just put it up there, the dark grey. Just going to put some more black there, just to show the difference. This is a lot darker. So we got our black and we got our dark grey. Now the next thing I would do is I would skip the number 2 here. And what is number 2? This is very easy mixed. It's just a very light grey. So I'll grab some white here, and now I'll do the opposite. I'll grab a wee dab of either one of them, and we'll get it on there, and you'll see that you get this very light grey. It's almost white, but it's not. What we'll do is we'll put that up on there, and you can see now we got black, white, we got dark grey, we got light grey. Now this is the most difficult to mix, is the number 3, the middle, and with practice you actually get really used to this. And the idea behind this is you mix this middle up, and then you've got your 5 tones. Now it takes a bit of practice. What I'm going to do here is just mix something that is in between the 4 and the 2. So we can see here that we've actually got this first time. That's your middle. Put this in here. So you can see now we have 5 clear tones here. They're mixed up down here as well. Now, when you look at any image here, I can ask you then, you know, what tone's this? This is going to be the darkest dark. It's going to be a black. What tone would this grass be, for instance? You might look at 3. You might look at this tone, the lightest tone. This could be either a 1 or a 2, depending on what you're going for, because this nice purple here might be your 2. So this might be your 1, and so on. So you can see what I'm really getting at here is you learn to see in different tones and brackets, and therefore your painting then becomes a lot stronger. The less of these tones you use, the stronger the painting will be. So there's a few rules for value here. Number 1, squint. You can't tell the value of anything unless you drop your eyelids down and 50% and squint at what you're looking at. What squinting does is basically it simplifies, it blurs everything, and things become apparent very, very easily. Areas maybe with 4 or 5 different shades of dark drop under the one shade of darkness, and this happens with the light as well. So by squinting down, you can tell which tone is probably right for the area that you're looking to paint. So obviously, again, we look here, value 5. The shadow here, if you squint your eyes, it disappears under the background, so this is value 5 as well. And then another very important thing is you can't tell a value of a thing independently. You have to compare it to at least 2 other values. So if I'm trying to figure out what value is this blue, then I really have to be looking at the darkest and the lightest and determining what it is between them brackets. So with us only using 5 values here, we can easily determine what's going on. So we'll go back here again and we'll look at this. The tree might be value 4 up there. It might be a mix between value 4 and value 3. The clouds might be a mix between 1 and 2. The land here maybe 3 and 2. And what sometimes you can do is you can actually mark this out. You can actually write your numbers. You know, you can stick it up here and you could say, well, this is a 1, this is my lightest, so this must be a 2. This here tree might be a 4, so this here might be a 3, and this might be a 2, and so on. So you can see how you can actually do this. Now, whenever we're working here, I'll take a wee image like this, for instance, this wee boat, and what we'll do here is we'll look at this boat. Now, with just using these tones alone, we can make this boat scene. We can analyze it. So the darkest bit of the boat here, we'll just put on black. So we'll start here and you squint your eyes at it, and we'll establish that the darkest darks are here and they're on the wee windows here. So when I look at this here, I'll say that the darkest darks, I think that that's them. Now when you drop your eyes down, you're going to see that here and here are very dark, but they're not black. So it's up to you to determine what you want to actually do. I would say we could run with a 4 here, which is just literally, it's just one step down from black. So we move over here, give the brush a wee bit of a clean, we move over and we get this nice 4 tone, which isn't black, and we squint our eyes and we see that from here to here we're getting on this nice tone. And this tone here, when you squint your eyes, it seems to continue on down. Now, when we look at this, we look at the white here. This is pretty easy. You always look for the most obvious. So I'm just going to get a clean brush here and just run with the pure white here. So the white we'll put on. And well, now we got our whites on, we might say that this might be a middle tone we could go for, the number 3. So we'll get some of this on here, number 3. Looking at the background here, there seems to be some number 2s there. Not quite white, but down from white. So we get some number 2. And we'll finish off here with a number 3, which I think is in the background again. It's number 3, it's just in the middle again. But what we'll do is we'll just change the colour of it. So it's a number 3, the same as the water, but it's a bit cooler. Still number 3 though. So we'll get a bit of blue, and with this blue, and you can see already that I'll just show you here how this wee boat image, it seems very strong. It seems to really pop, and that's because of the limited values we're using. Now obviously 5 values here, you can add wee bits and pieces on. You can add an extra couple of tones here and there, but never destroy that strong statement that you get with the 5 values. It's very important that you don't try and paint everything on, because then there's no structure. So values is basically what you're doing is you're trying to determine what you're seeing, and it's all comparative, it's all relative. There's nothing at all that will sit alone value wise. You need to look at other values to determine what you're seeing. If you pre-mix your values, pre-mix 7, pre-mix 5, whatever you decide, it's a lot easier. And what I'll do then is when I mix these colours, for instance, I might get a nice blue, and we'll put the blue down, and I'll lighten up the blue. And then the blue, then what I'll do is put the blue down, and that's the colour of the sky, maybe the sky that I'm going to paint the sky. Let's see, we'll actually go to maybe a darker sky here. There. So you see that blue there? That is the blue there. To determine that value, what I'll do is I'll paint it, and then I'll match it up against the scale. And when I squint my eyes, I'll be able to see exactly, when you drop your eyelids, what value that is. So that blue, for instance, when I squint my eyes, if it disappears right under one of these tones, if I squint my eyes here, it's obviously too dark to be a 3. It's obviously too light to be a 5. It must be a 4. So when you get the colour, then you can use the value scale to actually to determine what tones go where, and actually use your own artistic license. You can simplify very complicated designs into a few values and get a far stronger effect. So that's basically value. What I will do here now is just throughout the demonstration here, we've been painting an image, and it's this image here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to, in this last segment, finish this image using the big three, using our values, using our new knowledge of colour, and really using some of the rules. I'm going to add an extra couple of wee rules in there that we'll talk about, such as edges and even texture and things while we're doing it. It's very, very important though that these big three are paid attention to: value, colour, and your mass and your actual drawing the structure underneath. If you can master these three, then you've got a great painting already, regardless. So that's what we'll be doing. I'd encourage you to actually make up your own scales as well. Your value scales is very important because it learns you how to see in value, to look out at the landscape and see that the sky is a 1 or a 2, or the sky is a 3 in a dark day, and so on. So that's a wee introduction to value, but I again encourage you to, it's a very, very and there's a lot of depth in this subject, and it's definitely one of the hardest, so you should definitely look into it. So next session we're going to use what we have learnt in the previous to finish this painting, and I hope that has been useful to you. Thanks.